Peace, all. Peace. Um, IJUST MCINTOSH, the founder and the owner of JMD Janitorial. And I want to thank each and every one of y'all for joining me today on another dynamic episode of the Clean Sweep Podcast. In episode 15, I'm going to embark on the nitty gritty and uncover the secrets and the shine a light on what truly makes the wheels turn in the commercial cleaning industry. So, what do I mean by nitty gritty? We hear that idiom, that term often, that expression. And, it often boils down to what does that really mean and how does that relate to the commercial cleaning aspect? And what fundamentally can I show that will allow me to identify the nitty gritty and what aspects of courses of corrections that I can take. So today, as I stated, I'm not just exploring the expression of the nitty gritty, but unraveling 8 crucial facets that's going to help unravel the hidden layers. And we're going to use my own real life examples and showcase these elements. All right. So, without any further delay, the first aspect I want to shine light on and what is the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry. And this is more like a three-part, for number one, but it's cleaning techniques, tools, and equipment. So, understanding most effective cleaning methods for different surfaces and areas, and utilizing advanced tools and equipment and technology to ensure a thorough and efficient cleaning. So, what does that essentially mean? So, like cleaning methods can be your sit time when you're using disinfectant. So, let's say you go into a break room. The break room has high touch points area, countertop, a sink, tabletops. You spray the tabletop and then you allow that time for the table to where you spray it with disinfectant and then allow it to sit for 15 seconds um, in order for it to have some type of effect and for the disinfectant to do what it do. So that's a cleaning technique. Using microfiber rags is a cleaning technique. So, what are some of the tools that you would encounter or use inside of the commercial cleaning industry? So, when I think of tools, I always think of like typical tools. So, like you're going to have a toolbox, and that toolbox going to have hammers, wrenches, and things like that. And you may wonder, what does that have to do with commercial cleaning? Well, on some of your accounts, you may be required to install a soap dispenser. And installing that soap dispenser, you're going to need some tools. So the account that you're servicing, if they ask you and you get there and they have a particular type of soap dispenser and you're unable to find soap that fit their particular dispenser, and you already use a certain type of soap for in a certain type of dispenser, then it will behoove you with, of course, an additional fee to install your soap dispensers in there. And then that way you're not buying multiple different types of soaps, because each account that you may have, different type of dispensers, unless they supply the soap, the hand soap we're talking about that go inside of the hand soap dispenser. Now, if they supply the hand soap that go inside of the hand soap dispenser, then you don't have to worry about it in that aspect. But those are like some of the tools. So equipment would be for carpet extractions. What type of equipment do you have? So like I think about when we're doing a carpet job, we're going to have a side by side machine, excuse me, a side to side machine. We're also going to have bonnets. Those bonnets are going to go at the bottom of the side to side machine. We're going to have a carpet extractor. So we're going to have like a large 55-gallon drum or garbage trash bin, and it's going to have the wheels on the bottom. So, especially if we're doing a large carpet area, square feet, square footage, then you want to have the right type of equipment going into the job. You don't want to get to the job and then now you're running back and forth trying to get equipment. So, once you take on for commercial cleaning and you understand that you're going to be doing different types of jobs outside of just office cleaning, then you understand that these are some of the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry. And the first aspect that I wanted to shed light on was cleaning techniques, tools, and equipment. So here's number two: safety and compliance. Okay, so adhering to safety protocols, OSHA standards, and regulations while using cleaning chemicals and equipment, ensuring a safe environment for both cleaners and occupants of, let's say, in this instance, a office space. So this is very important: safety and compliance. So let me again relate it right to a real life example of my ownership of a commercial cleaning industry, or excuse me, commercial cleaning business. So you may have an account and you use a certain type of disinfectant that has a scent to it. One of the most popular is lavender. Now, you may not use the full water to cleaning solution ratio depending on the disinfecting that you want to do. So, if you want to do a deep clean, then obviously you want to have more cleaning solution and lessen the water dilution ratio. But if you're just doing general disinfecting, meaning like you're there 7 days a week and you clean, then of course you're able to go by the manufacturer's recommended dilution ratio. But at any rate, you may have an account where you're doing a deep clean and the smell is obnoxious, although the customer is recommending that, there's been a flu outbreak here, so we really need a real deep clean, and that you have to have more of the disinfectant cleaning solution, then you're going to have water in that dilution ratio. So, but that smell may be obnoxious. So some people may get a headache. Some people may water their eyes. I don't know, different things, and people can react in different ways. So that becomes a safety issue. So in the beginning, when you're negotiating your contract and saying that, yes, we will do this deep clean, then you want to pick a day, when no one's inside of the building. So that way, if you are going to do more of a cleaning solution, then you are going to have the water dilution ratio, and the scent is going to be strong. At least you're not going to have any occupants inside of the building, and that is adhering to safety protocols. So, like OSHA standards, without getting too deep into it, but it's very important. Like you got to have your SDS sheets. So, if you're cleaning a multi floor office building and they have multiple janitor closets throughout their facility, then you're required to have inside of each of those janitor closets where you store your cleaning solution and your chemicals at a OSHA inspected, and you're going to have your SDS sheets in there. Now, some buildings or customers may not have a OSHA inspector, but for like fire marshal purposes or fire inspections, they may get fire inspections by their local fire department. And in case some type of incident happened, they want to know what type of chemicals are being stored in that particular building. So therefore, they are aware of what type of agents they're going to use in order to put out the fire. So again, without me getting too far into it, but that's something that you have to adhere to, and that becomes a OSHA standard. So, you don't want to have chemicals that have like 13 skulls on them. You know what I mean? You're cleaning a restroom and the solution has, 79 skulls with the X on them. Like, you want to be moderate and you want something that's going to be effective as well, but without going overboard, because it definitely becomes something that you're going to have to recognize. So you definitely want to make sure that you're ensure or you want to ensure a safe environment for your cleaners and your occupants. You want to make sure that your cleaners are wearing their protective wear. So like I walk around and I'm at one of my locations and I see one of my cleaners, I want to make sure that they have on gloves, preferably nitro gloves, and that they're part of your ordering equipment for your crew is making sure that they have on their protective wear, and that they're not, cleaning or removing trash, things along those lines, without any type of gloves on. So, point number three, or aspect number three. And for those that are just now joining us, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're watching the Clean Sweep podcast. I am IJUST MCINTOSH, the owner of JMD Janitorial, who is powering this particular podcast. So we're talking about unveiling the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry. And I spoke several points, and now we're at aspect number three, and that's customized solutions. So, tailoring cleaning services to meet the specific needs of different commercial spaces, considering factors like size, layout, foot traffic, and industry standards. So, let's just break that down. Customized solutions and tailoring cleaning services to meet specific needs of different commercial spaces. So, what different commercial spaces, and how do you tailor the needs? So different commercial spaces could be like a warehouse. So I had an account, it was a warehouse, they did a lot of welding there. I had an account or have an account where it's an office space. Also, it could be a school. These are different type of commercial cleaning spaces, and your cleaning methods are going to have to adjust to the different type of spaces. So, if you're in a warehouse and you're dealing with a business that do a lot of welding, then you're going to have fine shave metal, you're going to have a lot of gook or oil. It combines. So like you're not using typical general floor cleaner. You're going to have to go with something more industrial, and your cleaning solutions are going to have to be more of an industrial base versus a commercial base type of cleaning solutions. Now, it depends on what the space is of that warehouse. How much of that space is actually cleanable. So it could be a thousand, excuse me, let's go with 10,000 square feet, but you're literally only cleaning 2,500 square feet. You don't clean their main floor. You may just clean the front office where the executives are. So you understand that maybe like a hallway or the restrooms may be located where the warehouse is, but that's where you're going to use your industrial cleaning solutions at. But then you also understand that in the front office where the executives are, in those restrooms, in those break rooms, that you're just going to use your typical commercial cleaning solutions. So that's understanding the specific different commercial spaces and considering factors like the size and the layout. Now, let's talk about the foot traffic. Is this a public place where they have a lot of foot traffic coming through their building? So let's say it's a public library that you're cleaning, or it's a courthouse that you're cleaning, it's a county building that you're cleaning, where all walks of life from the public are going to come through that particular customer. So understanding the different foot traffic will then help you understand what type of cleaning solution that you're going to need for that particular account. So that's something else to consider when we're talking about industry standards. So we're going to go on to aspect number 4. And as I continue with these particular different aspects, just recognize again that I'm going to give you real life examples and a few anecdotes that you can, think about. Whether you're a seasoned commercial cleaning owner, whether you're brand new to the commercial cleaning and you never had any formal training, you never went and got any different certificates, maybe like a black sales license, maybe like you deal with like ISSA in clean management, CM, and then you get certifications on how to do strip and wax jobs the right way, how to do carpet extractions the right way using the proper equipment and steps and measures that you're going to be able to properly bill the customer, but also provide the outcome that the customer is looking for. So let's go with number 4. And the number 4 aspect is scheduling and logistics. And this is important in the commercial cleaning industry. And if you're one who owns a commercial cleaning business, scheduling and logistics. So efficiently managing schedules, logistics, and manpower to ensure timely and consistent cleaning services without disrupting the daily operations of your customer. So let's unpack that. Efficiently managing schedules. So let's say, for example, you're new to the commercial cleaning industry, like we once were, and like I was 7 years ago, because as of December 7th of this year became 7 years that I've been a business owner of a commercial cleaning business and have been completely independent. And this is my sole income at this particular time. So we're talking about efficiently managing schedules. So I've been there. And me personally, when I first started off, after speaking to a few people who were in the space for a while, one of the, I think, shout out to my guy Sosa, who owns NA Solutions. But one thing he told me was if he could rewind the tape and do it all over again, he would start off attempting to get bigger accounts, um, bigger meaning square footage, and versus a bunch of small accounts, meaning smaller square footage, like your typical doctor's office or a dentist's office, where you're looking at, I don't know, a massage parlor, for example, where you're looking at about 1,000 square feet. Because essentially, you may have to clean about 5 of those per night, whether that's 2 3 days per week, or some of them maybe 5 days per week. And then you're either in the beginning cleaning all those accounts yourself, and all of them may close at different times, which means that if they're all not within the same region, you can find yourself spending more money on gas and fuel, although it's written off at the end of the year. But in real time, you're spending more money on gas and fuel in real time than you are making money that particular day, especially if you're outsourcing some of those other accounts and you're looking to scale, whether that's with 1 or 2 cleaners that you bring on as a W-2 employee, or you bring them on as a 1099 employee as a helper. But at the end of the day, you have to manage the schedule and the logistics, because if not, and that's not in order, like I said, you can wind up spending more money in real time per day. If you have a handful of small accounts, 1,000, it doesn't matter how it off. I mean, if you have to start off with a bunch of small accounts, then it is what it is. And if you have to, then just understand that you have to efficiently manage the schedules and the logistics. So fortunately for me, with that knowledge that and that wisdom that was given to me, I drew that up from my own understanding. And I said that I'm going to look for bigger accounts in square footage. And I was able to land, like, within year number 1 of me owning my commercial cleaning business. And fortunately, I had certificates. I went through commercial cleaning, 6-week program of commercial cleaning, business ownership, and cleaning. And I got an account that was like 120,000 square feet, and they had an east wing and a west wing, and it was a bridge that was within the building that got you from side to side. And so it was easier for me to have to scale up and then have all of my cleaners in one location versus having that 125,000 square feet, I don't know, spread out over 30 accounts, 7 days a week. It's a little bit more difficult to manage, especially when it's coming to the scheduling and the logistics. So then once I got the people there, it was a matter of how do you attack this account? So for me, the logistics then became, okay, we're going to have a group of vacuum guys, technicians, and we had the HEPA backpack vacuums, and literally I will hire them per hour because they were on my payroll as W-2 employees. And that's a whole nother conversation if you want to go W-2 employees or W-9, excuse me, or 1099. But this account required an audit. And in that audit, they wanted to know that I had a payroll service. So there was no really getting around it. It was written in the bid, in the contract. And so I had W-2 employees. I paid them hourly, and all they did was vacuum. And they, along with me providing them, like, today you're going to do the first floor in these offices, and working out the logistics. So by the end of the week, we knew we went through the entire building and understood what rooms and office spaces had more foot traffic than others, and then that became the priority of the day. So it was understanding that logistic, and you have to choose whether you're going to go with big accounts, meaning in square footage. So if you have to scale up and hire 10 people, then you're going to have them meet in one location. Then even within that, you have to manage the schedules and the logistics to say, okay, I'm going to have just all vacuum cleaners. I'll have people, all they do is just remove all trash. I'll have a set of people, all they do is all bathrooms and wipe downs. And then that's, and now I have an on-site supervisor that helps coordinate everything, and he does the deli inspections. And that's a well-oiled machine. You have processes and procedures and protocols in place. And I learned from my experience that that works great for large accounts. So understanding the manpower to ensure timely and consistent cleaning services without disrupting the daily operations of a business. So typically, a lot of the cleaning is going to be done at nighttime. Hopefully, when there's no customer or occupants in the building. But even within that, you don't want to cause no disruption by I don't know if they have an alarm, and then you're getting there 1, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, right before they open. And then sometimes as people are coming in early, you're dragging trash out. To me, that's just not a good look. I want my customer to come in the next morning and they just know that we've been there the night before. Not only know by the smell, but by what they see. All right, so we're going to move on to the next point, and that brings me on to point number 5, which is quality control. And when I say point number 5, we're talking about the aspects. And I said that I have about 8 aspects that I'm going to outline and unveil, which is the nitty gritty in the commercial cleaning industry, and we're going to unveil 8 aspects of it. And what do we mean by the nitty gritty? And it's not always about just cleaning nitty gritty. So we're going to take it from out of that framework. And when we typically think of nitty gritty, we think where the rubber meets the road and just the physical cleaning aspect of the industry. And I'm telling you that no, if you're thinking like a owner and you're a business owner and you're thinking like that, then you understand the bigger picture, and that you're not only looking at each individual slice or aspect of the business, but you have to then look at each individual aspect of the business, bring it all to a whole, and then take a step back So that way you can look at the full picture. And then you're going to go through the full picture, and I'm just speaking for myself. I've went through the full picture, and then some parts I'm more proficient at, some parts I'm better at, some parts I have to outsource because I know that requires a specialist. So for example, like bookkeeping, or marketing. Okay, so moving right along, we're going to go to the fifth aspect, and that is quality control and inspections. So, and this is important to me, implementing quality checks and regular inspections to maintain high cleaning standards and promptly address any issues or areas needing improvement. That is important. That's quality control, you know. And I'll share this maybe on another podcast episode. Probably going to have to go through Zoom in order for me to show my screen or share my screen. But we literally, JMD Janitorial, we have a on-site supervisor, and part of his duty is to do inspections, daily inspections, weekly inspections, which rolls right into his monthly inspection that he hands into me. And at the end of each month, I share that with my customer. And I'm as objective, and I tell the site manager, the inspector, the supervisor, the team lead at that particular account, be honest, be as objective as you can when you're critiquing the quality of your service. So it may start you off in the lobby. Do you have spider webs in the corners? If there's chairs, are the chairs being dusted? When they're mopping in the lobby, are they just mopping around the chairs, or at least going under the chairs? Better yet, removing the chairs from the area and then mop the entire floor. When the floor dries, place the chairs back in its proper place. If you're in a break room and you're wiping down a counter, and that counter has a plate or two that has utensils in them, paper towels in them for the occupants to use, with your rag, do you just wipe around all of that, or at least once or twice a week, 3 times a week, that you lift those plates that have the in them, and you wipe under them? Because when I do my inspections, I'm going to look under there, and then you're going to see the accumulation of dust underneath that plate. You'll see where the wipe is, and then you'll know that not even once or twice did you wipe underneath there. What about underneath a microwave? You're on that same countertop. Do you just wipe on top of the microwave, which is cool? That just may be written within the scope of work. It may be also written within the scope of work that you're required to wipe inside of the microwave. Okay. Do you thoroughly wipe inside of the microwave? Do you move or slide the microwave across the counter and then wipe underneath the microwave to get the crumbs from underneath the microwave? These are things that are going to be found during an inspection, because the inspection is not meant to be used as a cudgel, as a weapon against your employees. It is another form of communication. So you have the contract, which outlines the scope of work. Now, the customer is always trying to push a little bit beyond the scope of work. Your job is to not fall below the scope of work, but keep it within the scope of work. There's always that little tug of war where you may do a little bit more, sometimes you may do a little bit less. But if there's a cohesive line of communication between your customer and yourself, then typically you're going to do what's in honor what is written within the scope of work. So during your inspections, your supervisors, or you, the owner, if you're doing your inspections yourself, which I recommend, in your accounts, you trot through there once or twice and you do your own inspections to see it for yourself. Um, because there's been so many examples of a owner not doing that, and then you have a supervisor who may not share the same value values as you, the owner, and just maybe filling out that form, knowing that you'll never step foot in there and check behind them, and then they can be falsely submitting or being too subjective, and then you may go there or get a customer who's complaining about the quality of the service, like cobwebs, or they're noticing a lot of dust on top of paper towel dispensers, or the brightwares not being properly cleaned. And you're looking at these inspections that you've been sending to your customer, and it just doesn't add up because you've never stepped foot as the owner inside of the facility. So I'm just sharing my examples, and I'm sharing how I am as a commercial cleaning owner. And yeah, I haven't gotten to the point where my business, in my commercial cleaning business, JMD Janitorial, is 100% on autopilot, and it's forever learning. But you take your accumulated facts and you always look to improve on that. So before we proceed to the last three aspects of the nitty gritty of the cleaning industry, we're going to talk and just take a moment for my particular favorite segment, and that is known as mop your brow. So again, here's another idiom. And mop your brow is certainly very important to the commercial cleaning industry and to rural life. So welcome to an insightful segment of Mop Your Brow. And we're going to talk about a handful of techniques or things that I'm going to share with you, aspects, intangibles, versus me just saying vaguely things. All right. But it's all still relative and inclusive to the commercial cleaning industry. And these are intangibles that help me as a commercial cleaning owner, business owner. And not to say that I'm this elite expert, not to say that I know it all, that, I'm this Fortune 500 company. No, I'm just a brother from Trenton, who decided to go into business for himself after being a commercial truck driver, and not highly educated, didn't go to college, but I did my due diligence prior to going into the commercial cleaning industry, and I understood that because my journey into entrepreneurship started at quote unquote a later age, that I didn't have a lot of time to waste. And if I am going to do this, I have to take it very serious. And that's what I did. I studied, I watched YouTube tutorials, I attended webinars and seminars. I went and seeked mentors who already had commercial cleaning experience. I did join up with a master franchisor like JamPro to gain certain leverage of training and opportunities. And this has led me on my journey to where I'm at now, here on YouTube, speaking to this wonderful audience, those who are listening to the Clean Sweep podcast. And I'm just sharing my real life examples based off of aspects or titles, or things that I think about the commercial cleaning industry, which are truly anecdotal. But the best part about it, I like to tie that to real life examples. So it shed light on the commercial cleaning industry. And if you look like me, if you sound like me, if everything that I said resonates with you, then this is the channel. This is for you, JMD Janitorial. You know, it may not hit with everybody. I get that. And I ain't trying to make everybody happy. And again, I'm not here to jump on this and act like I'm this super duper expert, but I am an expert in my experience in the 7 years that I've been in business. So, let's proceed on with my favorite segment, which is Mop Your Brow. So, specialized techniques from stain removal secrets to tackling different surfaces will navigate the world of specialized cleaning methods that elevate your quality of service. Number two, advanced equipment usage. Okay, so even for me, I have like behind the scene footage. I discuss how cutting edge tools and technology revolutionize my approach and ensure efficiency and outstanding results for my customers. Safety protocols. Number three, safety protocols. Safety isn't just a word, it's a priority. It really is because you're going to have business owners insurance. You're going to have workman's comp insurance. And if you don't have certain safety protocols in place, so anywhere there's a wet surface, you're mopping, where is the wet sign? Where are your cart blocking the restroom door, right? And then, or the bar that lets people know the floor is wet. So if anyone were to have a slipping hazard, then you're protected because you laid out all the precautions and they proceeded at their own risk. That helps you out. So understand being a commercial cleaning business owner and having safety protocols, it's not just a word, it's a priority. So I just shared an instance where strict adherence to safety guidelines has helped shape our practices for a secure cleaning environment for not only my staff but the occupants or the customer. Number four, tailored solutions. Every space has its unique needs. Let's explore how customization play a pivotal role in meeting diverse requirements, creating tailored cleaning solutions. So, if it's a doctor's office, they're going to have certain different hygiene levels and safety protocols, and what you can touch and what you can't touch, and what type of gloves you got to have, and what type of chemicals you can clean with, what type of rags and paper towels, or you have to wipe everything down with paper towels because you can't wipe any surface, even if you have a color coded rag system with more than one rag. If you're doing a dentist office, it's called acute cleaning. If you're cleaning a fitness center, that's also acute, versus a office or versus a warehouse. So that's different ways where you're going to have to kind of play around and customize and pivot the role that your company, a commercial cleaning business, is going to help meet the requirements of a such a diverse customer base. Number five, it's consistency and quality control. Okay, so behind the scenes, our stringent quality checks insurances are consistent. And I've walked you through some of the real life examples that I laid out. Number six, client relationships. Um, s- Now, I have some stories of how I've, built trust and understanding my clients' needs and form a cornerstone of success for my business and a success for my customer. And it became a win-win situation. So one example is that just having regular meetings with my customer. So, not every customer is going to be willing to meet with you face to face every single month. But having great client and customer relations is very important. And sometimes customers hyperbolate. They use hyperbole. It becomes a sense of urgency. Where in your world, it may not be a sense of urgency, but they're your customer. They're help supporting your business. And although it's a win win situation, sometimes you have to make their priority your priority. And that's part of building a strong client relationship because they understand that you're helping to bear their load. So, number seven, environmental sustainability. Okay, it's not just about cleaning, it's about responsible practices. Real life examples will illuminate your commitment to eco friendly cleaning solutions. And it has for me. And I gave you the example of a deep clean that we had did. And, the deep cleaning, which was partly on the customer. They want it done at a specific time, but our dilution ratio wasn't right. the lavender scent wound up being a little bit too strong, and that didn't work out well. And but it became a learning experience. I mean, fortunately, no one wasn't hurt. They did come back to us and did want us to do additional deep cleaning because they were very satisfied with the actual deep cleaning. We just made them aware that we're going to go with a lighter dilution ratio and make sure that they like the scent, but it's not as strong of a scent, which that part of it they didn't like. So now that that segment of mop your brow is over, I outlined and highlighted about 7 points that in aspects that do matter to the commercial cleaning industry, and as a small business owner, may have you up at night. And these are things that you certainly want to put on your plate, as far as things that you're paying attention to and paying close attention to when you're running your business. So we're going to go back to the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry. And before we cap off this episode and give you the last 8 aspects, which are the nitty gritties or nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry that we're unveiling, and that demystifying or destigmatizing what the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry is. It's not just all about where the rubber meets the road and actual cleaning. That the nitty gritty of owning a commercial cleaning business have has a lot of moving parts, especially when you're independent and you're out here doing it on your own. So point number 6, okay, is client communication and satisfaction, which is very important. Some may argue it's one of the most important aspects of it, other than your why and why you got into the business. But client communication, as I alluded to in the mop your brow segment, I briefly alluded to that, but it's very important and it is part of the nitty gritty. Because sometimes, let's just be frank, I don't want to hear the customer complaint, but I have to. I understand that as I'm listening to the customer express their point of view in the services, that they may be dissatisfied or have a certain disdain. Sometimes customers forget, after you've been in business with them for some time, and that the contract renews annually, and there may be slight differences, especially in the pricing, where maybe like a 3% inflated price every renewal of the contract. But the bottom line is that they may forget that we only do high dusting and low dusting once a month. That every if we did it more frequently than that, it would increase the cost of the services. And because business may have not been going well for them at that particular time, they just were not in a position to incur that particular increase in costs. And you may have to remind them in a professional manner, and that is a uncomfortable but a conversation that you need to make comfortable, and remind them that there was a point in time where we did offer to clean inside of the microwaves 5 days a week, on top of the microwaves 5 days a week, but you declined that because of the incurred additional costs. But building strong client relationships by effective communication and understanding their expectation, which is very important. And the expectation needs to be, in my professional opinion, you have to do that early. You have to do that, as you do your walkthrough and you get your fact finding. So when you're doing your walkthrough, don't just rush to tell them what you can do for them. You know, Listen first. It's like an interview. You know, they're interviewing you, but at the same time, you have to interview that particular and potential customer. What problems are they having? Why do they want to get rid of the current cleaners that they have? Partly when you're doing your walkthrough, you're going to see, why they may want to get rid of the customer, but you're interviewing the customer as well, potential customer. And, so first part of that interview, you need to understand what their problems are. Why are their needs not being met? Are their expectations unrealistic based off of their budget? Or are they overpaying, and because they had to get a cleaning company in the midst of COVID, and prices were inflated, because there's higher risk out there for essential workers like cleaners. And at that particular time prices went up. So now that COVID is not a button topic any longer, and that there are more people who have returned to the office, are you still paying, or is that customer still paying that price, but not getting that quality of service that they were used to or were paying for? So these are things that, left to assume, will certainly be lost in translation. So you want to have that once a month, once a quarter meeting with your customer, and have effective communication and understand their expectations. And sometimes you have to rescind the contract to them, or maybe that's a perfect opportunity to renegotiate the contract now that they want to do more services, and have you clean more of the square footage of the building. And then that can be a bump in revenue, because there is that 80-20 rule, that 20% of your revenue is more than likely going to, 80% of your revenue is more than likely going to come from 20% of your customers. So ensuring satisfaction with providing your cleaning services. And that's what I look to do. So when I say you, yes, it is anecdotal you, but more or less, I'm only speaking from my experiences, and everything I'm telling you is based off of my example. So before I proceed to aspect number 7 and aspect number 8, I just want to say thank you once again for tuning in to the Clean Sweep podcast. I'm your host, IJUST MCINTOSH, and this podcast, episode number 15, is powered by JMD Janitorial. And shout out to my guy, DJ Cam, and the owner of Jersey Cat Apparel, for supplying this apparel. He's another black owned business, and he represents New Jersey. And you may not get the full, but it's Jersey Cat Apparel. Shout out to him. Before we proceed on, shout out to my guy Sosa. Shout out to Akia over at the Hustle Lab, and all of the great work that they're doing in marketing. And if you're in the cannabis industry, you want to check out Boozer Bud podcast here on YouTube. If you're a business owner who also happen to be in the cannabis space, they have a great podcast over there. So let's see here. Aspect number 7 of the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry, and how today we're demystifying and unveiling these secrets. In that the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry is not just about cleaning where the rubber meets the road, but it's very in depth. And these are things, as the owner, you must pay attention to. You have no other choice, or else you will not have any rhyme. Or I found, let me speak for myself, I found you're not going to have any rhyme or reason to your business structure, and that's very important. So hopefully some of these tips, some of these secrets that we unveiled, that will let you know that the nitty gritty of the commercial cleaning industry is not just about cleaning, and things can go sideways, and it may not have nothing to do with the cleaning. Your crew could be you and your crew could be doing an outstanding job in cleaning, and it's more to being a business owner than just providing great cleaning. It's the whole kit and caboodle, or like I'll say, it's the whole pie. So not the individual slice, even though you have to pay attention to each individual slice, but then take a step back and then watch the whole pie, and how that affects the business as a whole. So number 7 is environmental sustainability. Embracing eco friendly practices, using green cleaning products, and reducing the environmental impact while delivering top-notch cleaning services. So my example is that I always go back to like toilet bowl cleaner. You have your abrasive toilet bowl cleaner, which is neutral in essence, and then you have your non-acidic, and then you have your acid-based bowl cleaner, depending on the mineral deposits in the bowl, how dingy it is, and how you're looking to brighten up and remove lines and things along those lines. That's a process within itself. You need a mask on. You need to empty out all the water out of the toilet bowl. And I do have a video and show how you can do that literally. And then I have in that same video where I show you, you put the acid bowl cleaner in there, and then you want to shut that restroom down. You want to try and do all of those toilet bowls. So if you walk into a restroom and there's about 4 or 5 stalls, you want to shut that bathroom down. So you're going to have to speak with the facility manager, even if you're doing it after hours, and make them aware. Then because you have to allow the acid bowl cleaner to sit, there are safety protocols in place. Then you have to do a thorough cleaning of it. Make sure that you flush the toilet a certain amount of time, that you're brushing off the rim of the toilet to make sure none of the acid has left on the toilet bowl. But at the same time, when you're getting this acid bowl cleaner, which I think is a great example, you don't want something that shows a person on a gurney with in a circle with the line along with 13 skulls on it. No, you want to measure that acid bowl cleaner up to the best of your ability within the standards of OSHA. So you have to look at the SDS sheets and see what the SDS sheet says in its recommendation. And you have to follow the manufacturer's recommendation. That's very, very important. And, along with cleaning products that you're going to use. So OSHA has standards. When you look at the label on your cleaning products that you use, are you using residential cleaning products in a commercial space? That's a no-no. You shouldn't be doing that. And if you are using commercial cleaning products or industrial cleaning products inside of a office space, you shouldn't be using industrial cleaning products in the office space. You should be using commercial cleaning products in the office space, and using industrial cleaning products in an industrial or an industrial space, because you're dealing with different levels of toxic uh, components within that cleaning solution. And it's real. It's something that you have to pay attention to, and that you have to be on guard. So one of the last points that I'm going to bring up, drum roll please, boom, 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 is employee training and development, which is very important. So investing in training programs to equip your cleaning staff with the necessary skills and safety protocols and the knowledge about innovating or innovation that's taking place with cleaning practices and equipment and tools in the commercial cleaning space is very important. And that's you, the owner. You're going to take different type of classes, whether they come with certification. So once again, I'm going to refer back to like a black seal. I'm going to refer to a certified facility manager. You can use like ISSA, the training center. They have different training programs that will certify you as a facility manager, and you understand certain protocols and procedures that directly relates to safety. And that's something that you then will get a syllabus, or if it's a webinar, you'll get the readout from the webinar that's yours, that you can implement within your training program and share with your employees. So I know, for example, I use Spartan as my cleaning solutions that we use. I like to use Spartan JMD for my company. I like to use Spartan cleaning products. And when you deal directly with Spartan, and was fortunate to deal with Spartan through JamPro, but um, if you continue to use Spartan cleaning products, um, you know, and develop that relationship, you can then go and use their cleaning platform that they have called Clean Check. and you have to send them all of your employees' email. The employee will get a login to the Clean Check cleaning train commercial cleaning training program, and which is powered by Spartan or Clean Check, and they get a certification. You get the notification that each employee has completed these particular cleaning modules, and they get a OSHA certification. So if you don't have an abundance of cash, speak to who you get your cleaning products from. Find out if they have a training program which meets the standards of the commercial cleaning industry. And believe it or not, it may be relatively cheap. I would just say you have to set a budget aside for training, whether that's going to be outsourced, or you're going to do the training yourself, meaning that you, the owner, you are going to do the training and then roll those modules out to your employees. So, navigating these aspects effectively is crucial for your success and was crucial for what I deem as my success. And what you deem as success is different from what I deem as success in the commercial cleaning industry. Success just doesn't have to equate to profit, although I want it to equate to profit, but success as a business owner in the whole pie. Profit is just a slice of the pie. It's not the end all be all. So, navigating these aspects effectively is crucial for success in the commercial cleaning industry, ensuring consistent service quality, client satisfaction, and sustainable business growth. So, thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Clean Sweep Podcast. I'm your host, the owner, the founder of JMD Janitorial. I'm IJUST MCINTOSH. You can find me on Twitter at IJUST MCINTOSH. You can find JMD Janitorial on all socials at JMD Janitorial or official JMD Janitorial on Instagram, Threads, and on Facebook. Check me out on Facebook under the Entrepreneur Chamber. It's a group that we have, and we share tips, advice amongst the entrepreneur community. You're all welcome to join. Check me out also here on YouTube. That's JMD Janitorial. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you joining me on this live today. Hopefully, you got something from it, a jewel, some knowledge, some wisdom that will help you understand the commercial cleaning industry. Peace all and be victorious.